Salutations, and thank you for returning to Wealthy Coins. You can't buy Shiba Inu coins from Apple. This video will go over the ways in which Apple stops people from buying Shiba Inu coins. Coinbase reports that Apple is planning to charge gas expenses associated with NFT transfers conducted through the wallet app by 30%. This isn't practical according to Coinbase. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel to be updated on our latest Shiba Inu price forecast and expert analysis. On December 30, let's start the movie and find out what Shiba Inu is doing. The price of Shiba Inu has reached a turning point, and it may soon trigger a massive bullish surge that might help consumers 35% to 0.00125. Plus, there's a very optimistic forecast for the Shiba Inu price. There are two reasons why this action is likely to be taken. The news price has her sitting around 0.000933, a monthly support level. This barrier is strong enough to withstand bearish attempts, therefore it's likely that she will take off from here as well. This perspective is backed by the famous Relative Strength Index momentum indicator, which has produced a bullish divergence. This happens when momentum increases but the market action doesn't reflect it. This technical setup indicates a change in trend, favoring the bulls. Investors would do well to keep an eye on the situation. Alternatively, the Shiba Inu price can retest the next major barrier at 0.00127. An increase of 35% would result from this change. Investors might get a 14% return if Shiba Inu were to use the same level as a support floor and break over the 0.0002 barrier during this uptrend. The 14% predicted increase in the price of Shiba Inu is not completely implausible, in contrast to the initial memecoin circumstance. When looking at the monthly timeframe, Shiba Inu needs to keep its price above the support level of 0.000933. If this level were to be broken on a high timeframe chart, purchasers would likely lose interest and sell their holdings, causing a decline in value. If this happens, the price of Shiba Inu could reach 0.000689. To compete with the dollar, though, Shiba Inu tokens would have to surge in value by more than 10,800,000% from where they were before trade. The imminent release of Shiba Inu, a layer 2 blockchain that would significantly lower transaction costs, is the most important of Shiba Inu's 5 prerequisites. Due to its popularity, Ethereum's processing times and transaction prices tend to slow down, notwithstanding the network's reliability. The Shiba Inu cryptocurrency operates on the Ethereum network and is an ERC20 token. Shiba Inu is crucial to drastically cutting these fees so the project may fulfill its goals of blockchain-based gaming. Secondly, building upon the first, non-fungible token-powered games will eventually make their debut. The third point is that merchant acceptance of Shiba Inu needs to skyrocket, even though developers are mostly thinking about the introduction of Shiba Inu and possibilities for SHIB in the metaverse. To set a floor under the price of its token, Shiba Inu must first gain practical use. Until Shiba Inu Room is opened and transaction costs are drastically cut, it may be too expensive to own one's works and purchase or sell NFTs on marketplaces. If Shiba Inu were to skyrocket to 1.4 cents, a massive burn of coins would be required to reduce the estimated 549 trillion tokens in circulation. Lastly, according to Etherscan, with over 1.25 million wallets holding Shiba Inu coins, Shiba Inu might achieve a moonshot of over 10,800,000% in 2023, based on CoinMarketCap, but only if there is an unprecedented amount of support and discussion on social media message boards. Vitalik Buterin, creator of Ethereum, transmitted about 410 trillion Shiba Inu to an invalid blockchain address in 2021. Cutting down on currency burn by the same amount would likely be necessary to shift the needle in 2023 to the 5th position. Most of these people will need to have a strong social media presence if they want to rally support for a tool that has proven FOMO works. Over the previous day, Shiba Inu's burn rate climbed by around 36%, with 375,655 Shiba Inu burned and 6 transactions completed in the last 7 days. The total number of Shiba Inu tokens burned was 126,452,790, and 50 transactions were completed. This is a decrease from last week. Upon the destruction of 223,264,370 Shiba Inu tokens on December 3rd, trading at 0.00093, Shiba Inu was slightly down from the previous day after recovering from November 22 lows of 0.0081. The Shiba Inu has been consolidating for some time now, and the range, there may be a shift because it's tighter, but the extent of the change is not yet apparent. Merging with Italian burger joint WHALES was announced by Shiba Inu before the big change in February. To facilitate community involvement in decision-making, the DAO model was suggested in a blog post. The probability of consolidation has increased as the daily RSI has flattened. People in the community were asked to pick the best one. We recently launched WHALES Decentralized Organizational Group (DOG) in late November to test its approach. The partner design studio Mushipasio submitted 3 proposals for the interior of future franchise locations. The DOG model will be utilized in future decisions affecting the WHALES community. Franchise sites, shop layout, menu items, and packaging are all part of these options. In addition, a separate decentralized autonomous organization DAO will be established by the Shibana community to ascertain the optimal utilization of assets distributed to Shibana holders. These assets will constitute 15% of future net store revenues. Because Apple banned our most recent app version until we removed the feature, Coinbase's Wallet iOS app could not enable NFT transactions, as you might have observed, due to Apple's tough new NFT rules that were made public in October. The Coinbase wallet account is updated every Thursday, and there is a high 30% transaction tax on NFTs in Apple's mobile app store. If developers' apps don't meet that requirement, the store will remove them from the store, regardless of whether they are officially restricted or not. Coinbase reports that Apple plans to impose a 30% levy on gas expenses, meaning fees related to Ethereum network transactions including NFT transfers made through the wallet app. However, Coinbase asserts that such a thing cannot be done. Even if we desired to comply, we couldn't, because Apple's proprietary in-app purchase mechanism doesn't handle cryptocurrencies. This is obviously not possible according to anyone familiar with blockchain and NFT operations, according to Coinbase. Every time a user moves an asset, such as an NFT, to a different wallet on the Ethereum network, a fee called gas is incurred. These payments are necessary for the network to operate. Their complexity and lack of central authority make them more difficult to simplify than a flat rate. The efficiency of smart contracts and the amount of activity on the Ethereum network determine the fluctuations in the prices of gas, which are measured in GUI, but paid for in ETH. The ability to pay more to have transactions prioritized is another perk for more experienced users. The restrictions placed on its mobile app have infuriated Coinbase, which likens Apple's move to the tech company's desire to cut into the profits from every email sent using open internet protocols. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney is among the numerous Bitcoin advocates who are outraged by Apple's in-app purchase tax. Sweeney has taken legal action by suing Apple to challenge the tech giant's policies and has said that it must be halted. Past YouTube executive and current Polygon Studios CEO Ryan Wyatt has used similar techniques when he called Apple's 30% tax a crime. The dominance of the computing behemoth, according to Wyatt, will prevent technical advancements in the future. Billionaire Twitter CEO Elon Musk has previously expressed worry that Apple may prohibit the social media site from its stores. That is all for today. Make sure you give Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, a big thumbs up. During their conversation on Wednesday, Cook reportedly put Musk's fears to rest. If you want to see what we've been up to recently, subscribe and share the channel.